What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be talking about the kindest boy in anime, the one and only Tanjiro Kamado from Demon Slayer, aka Kimetsu no Yaiba. Demon Slayer is full of awesome and extremely likable characters. I mean, Zenitsu, Inosuke, Nezuko, and of course Tanjiro are all compelling characters, especially in their interactions with each other. But the strength of Demon Slayer is that on top of having characters with personality and likability, it also has characters with really cool and complex powers and abilities. Tanjiro is definitely a character with both an extremely likable personality and some badass powers. In this video, I will be explaining all of Tanjiro's unique abilities and powers, including the hidden power and potential that Tanjiro appears to have inherited through his family line. Trust me, there is a lot to talk about when it comes to Tanjiro's power, so let's get into it. If you enjoy the Demon Slayer content on this channel and you'd like to see more, please leave a like to let me know. And if you're new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar for all the latest Demon Slayer news and updates. And finally, this video will contain manga spoilers about Tanjiro's powers and also Nezuko's powers, so please proceed with caution, you have been warned. When we first meet Tanjiro, he is a kind-hearted and hardworking young man who cares deeply about his family. After the death of his father Tanjiro from illness, Tanjiro had to step it up and work hard in order to help his family make ends meet. And in fact, he is in charge of traveling great distances to sell firewood in order to earn enough money for the family to survive. But one morning after he returns to his family's mountain home, Tanjiro finds that his entire family has been killed by a demon. Or rather, his entire family except his sister Nezuko, who has been turned into a demon herself. But when the water Hashira Giyu shows up to kill Nezuko, because killing demons is what demon slayers do, Tanjiro refuses to let the demon slayer kill his sister. During the brief battle between Tanjiro and Giyu, Nezuko actually regains some of her humanity and she puts herself in danger in order to protect her brother from Giyu. Because Nezuko's behavior is so unusual and so different from the behavior of ordinary demons, Giyu decides to do something that is unheard of among the demon slayers. Giyu spares Nezuko's life, and he sends both Nezuko and Tanjiro to his mentor and former water Hashira Sakonji Urokodaki. Urokodaki then proceeds to train Tanjiro for 2 years in order to turn him into a demon slayer. Now, Tanjiro is determined to become a demon slayer because he wants to defeat Muzan, the demon final boss who killed his family, and he wants to find a way to turn Nezuko back into a human. During his training with Urokodaki, he learns to use the Breath of Water battle style, the same swordsmanship style that Giyu uses. I won't get into all the specific moves and forms that Tanjiro is capable of performing using this style, but if you're interested about the specifics of every known breath style, feel free to check out my video on every battle style in Demon Slayer, link in the description. In that video, I went all in on everything we know so far about every single breath style. To be brief though, when someone uses a breath style, they are essentially controlling their breathing in a very specific and deliberate way in order to increase the amount of oxygen flowing in their blood. After mastering a breath style, the user is able to increase his or her power, speed, and agility to the point that they can actually rival demons in battle. In general, a demon is much stronger than an ordinary human, so being able to fight on par with a demon is already a massive accomplishment. After eventually learning to use full focus breaths all the time, including when he is sleeping, Tanjiro is able to increase his speed, strength, and stamina even further. But this is not where the full extent of Tanjiro's unique powers and abilities ends. At this point, I want to mention that Tanjiro possesses an incredibly sensitive sense of smell, and this heightened sense of smell is not related to his Demon Slayer training. He possessed it even before he became a Demon Slayer. Tanjiro's sense of smell can often be a big advantage in battle because it allows him to locate hidden opponents, smell the emotions and therefore the intentions of other people, and even predict the movements of others to some extent by using his sense of smell as a guide. It also turns out that Tanjiro is able to use a second breath style known as the Dance of the Fire God. This is a breath style known and taught only by the Kamado family, and it is passed down from father to son within the Kamado bloodline. Interestingly enough, the Breath of Flames user Shinjuro Rengoku claims that the Dance of the Fire God style is actually the original breath, the godly breath that was the first ever created and the one from which every other breath is derived, and the name of this mythical style is the Breath of the Sun. Shinjuro Rengoku considers all of the other styles to be inferior copies of the Breath of the Sun. We know that Tanjiro's family has a direct connection to the original Breath of the Sun user, so it is quite likely that the Breath of the Sun style or some form of it was secretly passed down through Tanjiro's family under the guise of the Dance of the Fire God. The Dance of the Fire God style has so far been used by Tanjiro and by his father Tanjiro, who used the Dance of the Fire God style for a ritual ceremony once a year. As Tanjiro continues to train and as he gains greater mastery of the Breath of Water and Dance of the Fire God, he unlocks new abilities, including the so-called Mark of the Sun state. This state allows Tanjiro to become even stronger and faster, and he is able to effectively fight against Upper Moon demons in this state. Although we have to mention that while being in this state drastically increases Tanjiro's abilities, he is only rarely able to enter this state, and he is only able to use it for a small amount of time before it takes a tremendous toll on his body. On top of that, Tanjiro is able to unlock even higher potential when he combines his abilities with the abilities of his sister Nezuko. As we eventually find out, Nezuko is able to use her blood to set Tanjiro's sword on fire and turn it from black to red. When it becomes red, Tanjiro's sword looks like the red sword used by the legendary Breath of the Sun user who lived many centuries ago. As I mentioned earlier, there are multiple blatant clues that Tanjiro's family is directly connected to the Breath of the Sun user, including the Hanafuda earrings with the sun symbol which were said to have been worn by the Breath of the Sun user, the Dance of the Fire God, and marks on Tanjiro's face which are said to appear on warriors who use the Breath of the Sun, and so on. It is worth noting that in chapters 57 and 58 of the manga, we learned that Tanjiro has an unusually warm, bright, and powerful spiritual core, which may become important again at some point in the future. With such an above-average spiritual core, it is fair to assume that Tanjiro has above-average potential to keep getting spiritually stronger, more so than an average person. And even though it may appear as if Tanjiro is just lucky because he was born with a family connection to the Breath of the Sun, he has an unusually sensitive sense of smell, an unusually powerful spiritual core, and so on, it must be emphasized that even though he is a shonen protagonist, Tanjiro is not overpowered to the point of being a broken character. In Demon Slayer, powerful antagonists like the Upper Demon Moons are never defeated by just Tanjiro and his lower ranked friends alone because of how strong their friendship is or because of how badly they really want to win. Whenever a major antagonist like an Upper Moon is defeated in the series, it is always due to a lot of teamwork, and it always involves at least one Hashira or pillar. Sometimes it involves a whole group of Hashira fighting against the villain at the same time, along with some lower ranked Demon Slayers like Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and so on. Teamwork is extremely important in Demon Slayer. Just getting really angry at your opponent is not going to secure your victory in this series. Furthermore, Tanjiro is not the only character with a direct connection to the Breath of the Sun user. For example, Muichiro, the Mist Hashira, also has a direct blood connection to the Breath of the Sun user. So while Tanjiro was definitely born with certain privileges pertaining to his family lineage, he is not entirely unique in this regard. After chapter 151, Tanjiro is able to unlock another important battle technique. He learns to access the see-through world, a world in which all movement seems slower and within which Tanjiro is able to see the inside of his opponent's bodies and all of his opponent's movements, including the movement of the opponent's lungs and inner organs. And this allows him to predict an opponent's moves in battle more accurately. Tanjiro's dad was also able to use this technique, and Upper Demon Moon 1 Kokushibo can use it as well. Furthermore, all humans have a battle spirit that can be sensed by others, but in chapters 152 and 153, Tanjiro learns to make his battle spirit and murderous intent / hatred disappear completely, which prevents those who can sense battle spirit and murderous intent from sensing Tanjiro's moves in battle. So we know that Tanjiro clearly has a lot of special powers and abilities, and at least by the standards of a Demon Slayer who is not a Hashira, Tanjiro is pretty overpowered. Considering his age, the amount of time he spent training, and all the feats that he was able to accomplish against the Upper Moons, Tanjiro is indeed quite OP, relatively speaking. But this is nothing new for a shonen protagonist, and we've seen it many times over, from Asta and Deku to Meliodas and Goku, to name just a few. Having an OP main character is not a problem as long as the rivals he faces are also OP and he doesn't just defeat every rival on his own just because he believes in the power of friendship. Even though power creep is always a potential issue in battle shonen, I think that at least for now, Demon Slayer has handled Tanjiro's power pretty well. Yes, he has a lot of special powers and abilities, and yes, he was born with unique advantages that others do not have. But Tanjiro is not the only one with an especially powerful lineage, and he is not the only one who is blessed with unique powers and abilities. Moreover, all the major fights against the Upper Moons relied heavily on teamwork, and each time an Upper Moon was successfully defeated, one or more Hashira were involved in the fight on top of the less experienced fighters like Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. Even though he is the protagonist, Tanjiro is not out there defeating Upper Moons on his own. He is relying on teamwork, strategy, and the help of the much more experienced and skilled Hashira. My prediction is that unless the manga ends really soon, which I don't think is going to happen, Tanjiro will continue to get stronger, but he will do so as part of a team working along with Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Nezuko. Initially we thought that as soon as a Demon Slayer manifests the mark of the sun on their body, they will die before the age of 25. However, we recently learned in the manga that the original Breath of the Sun user was able to live until the ripe old age of 80, even after manifesting the mark in his youth. This shocked even Kokushibo when he first found out about it. This tells me that Tanjiro and friends will find a way to live longer just like the original Breath of the Sun user did. If it is possible, and we now know it is, then Tanjiro will find a way. And I believe the fact that Tanjiro's sword turns red only with Nezuko's help is symbolic of the fact that Tanjiro and Nezuko, but also Zenitsu and Inosuke, will have to work together as a team. As of right now, none of them are experienced or strong enough to defeat the Upper Moons on their own, and that goes double for Muzan. As overpowered as some of them may appear to be compared to regular lower-ranked Demon Slayers, they are not so overpowered that they can just destroy every villain on their own. So there is still a lot more room for growth. In addition, we've already seen instances of Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Inosuke combining their unique techniques and creating awesome combo attacks. So I expect to see more of that in the future. My main point is this: I believe that Tanjiro and Nezuko's mysterious lineage will be crucial in the long term. Just like Nezuko was able to conquer the sun, Tanjiro will eventually learn to conquer the curse of the mark of the sun, and he will find a way to live a long life, just like the Breath of the Sun user did. And I also believe that Tanjiro and Nezuko's secret connection to the Breath of the Sun will allow them to find a way to save the other Demon Slayers who have begun manifesting the mark of the sun. But that is just my personal opinion. Obviously we can't know for sure at this point, and by all means let me know what you guys think. How will Tanjiro and the others overcome the curse of the mark of the sun? And how will they ultimately defeat Muzan? Will they all have to work together to do it, as I'm inclined to believe? Or do you think that one of the main characters will emerge as the absolute strongest? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please leave a like to let me know. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. It's very important if you want to see our videos in the future. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar for all the latest Demon Slayer news and updates. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons for supporting our work and making our videos possible. A special thank you to all of our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, and Angel Cruz. An epic thank you to all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who stand above all other clans, including Baby Ray, Ace, Ingrata, Alolan Adam, Maddie Mac, Makotakun, and Keelan. And finally, at the pinnacle of interdimensional greatness, a tier reserved only for legends. A massive thank you to Reagan Harrison and Lord Nuxanor, disciples of Lord Twigo himself. If you enjoy our videos and you think they provide value for you, consider supporting us on Patreon, link in the description. Even a single dollar will give you access to our exclusive patron-only Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.